We are honored to present the next discussion on how AI is shaping social media and engagement. Our esteemed panelists are Nikita Gurin, Account Executive, Eastern Europe, Central and Southern Asia at TikTok, Arseny Ivanov, Industry Manager, Eastern Europe, Central and Southern Asia at TikTok, again, Mr. Mariusz Gajewski, CEE Mobile Gaming and Apps Lead at Google, Ms. Polina Zinchenko, Business Development Manager at UGC Ninja, and Ms. Julie Tona, former Senior Manager at Apple. Mr. Mikhail Mirzoyan, Senior Growth Marketer at Heartify, will moderate this discussion.
So, hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about AI and the innovation that it brought to marketing side. We have different guests from different companies. We have Nikita from TikTok, Arseny again from TikTok. We have Mr. Mariusz from Google. We have Paulina from UGC India. It's a content creating company. And we have Julie. She's ad tech expert. Former employee from Apple. So maybe we can already start the discussion starting from the main questions. So maybe starting from Arseny. Can you tell me and the audience how the AI impact on the marketing strategies? What has been changed in the traditional strategies with the AI coming into the market?
Hello. Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah. First of all, we're still in the middle of the change, so it's evolving and changing as we speak, basically. But we already started to see the first impacts and how it is changing the marketing landscape. So first of all, I would say that it's democratizing the marketing, and with all of the tools within AI we have, it helps with the scaling the ads, it helps with producing the ads, so it's basically helping get you into advertising faster, quicker, and more efficient. Also, I wanted to say that previously I've been working with a lot of different advertisers, large ones, small ones, and those on the larger scale, they tend to have a huge advantages in terms of scaling their creatives, for example. Large advertisers were able to hire like hundreds of motion designers and produce at an enormous scale. Right now, all of these small advertisers to help all these tools, it's automated right now, and you can use the same strategies, basically scaling really quick, have a lot of creatives, and basically, so this advantage is kind of negated, and now the playing field is leveled, I would say. Yeah, that's my take.
Cool, thanks for the response. And the same question to Mr. Mariusz. How do you see this on Google side?
I mean, I think it's really kind of broad topic. Like there was very interesting in this discussion on the World Economic Forum, where like based on analysis, it seems that between 2023 and 2027, around 23% of jobs will be changed in the world. 23% just 4 years, and actually. If we take marketing, I think it's even more. Yeah. So AI for me in marketing is like the invention of the gunpowder, and the reason why I'm thinking that is that I love history, and you can learn a lot from history. And not many people think that the main genius or like main invention behind the gunpowder was that was effective. No, at the beginning it was not very effective, because like the bows or like the archeries or like the swords were way more effective. But the main change was that in the past you needed to train someone with the sword for many years. So that's why very often the war was just one big battle. If you lose that battle, then you kind of were losing the war. With the change of the gunpowder, you were able to kind of create the new army just during the next few months, because the train the person with the gunpowder was much faster than with the sword. And I think the same comes with the AI, that the previous I think idea behind the knowledge and expertise, that you are choosing something and you are very deep and very strong in that. Yeah. Now I think what AI is changing, that we are going more towards a kind of T-shaped specialism, when you can be good something in something, but the AI actually, the more you understand other perspectives, the more actually you can use the AI to do something faster, cheaper, using knowledge from different areas where exactly you can use, even if you are not expert in creation of the creative, but you know general how the creatives work, you can use the AI to make it effective, yeah? So I think that's what I think is the general idea behind the marketing. That's why like the companies like Google, like Facebook, Meta, TikTok, they're like creating exactly those tools to democratize it. Like in most of the Google solutions now, you can just create simple creative just in a matter of seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. And finally, question getting to Julie because she's daily basis actively working on the tech side. How do you see it's changing?
I think you mentioned really good points. What I would add is that a lot of marketing operations are like really long and like time-consuming and manual. And I think with automation, marketers will be able to do some things faster and just get time to focus on the wider strategy maybe. So I think that's where we're going to see a biggest change. And then obviously generative AI that will help with like creatives and just testing and iterations and things like that.
Okay, thanks. As you mentioned about generative AI, maybe we can jump into more content generation, personalization topic. We have an expert from this field, so Paulina, can you tell us how AI is bringing its values to your business?
Yes, of course. Thank you a lot for your question. And firstly, I would like to introduce a little bit the company and what we actually do. So we create UGC-like ads that companies use on their socials or marketing campaigns. And we also focus on the production of these ads. And firstly, I would like to admit that AI actually has revolutionized the way we work and increased our capacity and operational efficiency. So as before AI, managers can cope with less projects than now. And for example, at this time, our project managers can handle up to 15 projects at once, and thanks to different AI tools, of course. And if we dive deeper in the exactly content generation process, so of course we have these key general stages, and each stage is enhanced by AI. And so we start with, for example, content creators discovery and AI tools. They just scan the platforms and make the list of these creators. Then the AI tools which automate the outreach to these creators and help us to communicate with them, send us personalized emails. The next stage, I guess it's like the most interesting part is the editing part, and here we use different tools. For example, we can maybe somehow grade it. So the first stage is the voiceover, and the 11th lab in a sec that makes a voiceover to the video you created, and you can tailor it to any brief, to any preference of the company. And it really increases the operational efficiency and decreases the time you use, for example, to reshoot this creator with another voice. And the other part is, of course, the AI avatars that are becoming increasingly popular across different verticals, especially in gaming. And we had a case exactly when we used the avatars and changed the nationality to tailor to the audience preferences. And it was really cost efficient, of course, and it was not time consuming. And we reached the goals, and it was especially beneficial for the these early stages of testing of the ad creatives to see what performs well. And the last part may be some tools like Midjourney that can make your banners really dynamic and catch the audience. So that's it.
Yeah.
Can I add something? Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we're also seeing platforms like Meta and Pinterest adding like AI generative tools within directly like their platform. So advertisers are able to just enhance their creatives directly there without having to go, for example, on Midjourney or other, external tools. So I think big tech understood quickly how to use AI and promote it and just invest in it and how to make it work for like advertisers.
Yeah. And as I'm directly working with Nikita daily basis, so I know they have a very interesting tool in TikTok. It's called Symphony. Maybe, Nikita, can you tell more detailed how it works and how AI is involved there?
Thank you. So overall, I just wanted to mention that AI is a very exciting and also overly complex topic. So it's very eager to get carried away speculating on the future possibilities and probabilities. At the same time, when you're running a business, you have to be grounded. You have to look at what is available there and now. So for every successful business on TikTok, on our other platform, at some point you decide that it's time to expand. It's time to expand in new markets, new geos, to let people know about your product or service. And for example, historically, an expansion like this, you always faced an additional cost of translating your content, translating your creative, adapting to local markets. And for many businesses, those costs were quite significant at their early stage of growth. Right now, AI offers you a possibility to cut those costs by an order of magnitude. So for example, in TikTok, we use something called a multilingual tool. So it basically allows you, with a couple of clicks of your mouse, to take a creative in your original language and automatically translate it into 12 other major languages. So in an instant, you have localized content that works quite well. It allows you to start exploring these new markets without making significant investment in content localization. And once you see what works, you can start expanding, you can start experimenting, and this is where one of our fresh tools called Symphony comes into play. So again, it allows you to generate content quite easily using our own in-house AI model. But at the same time, you stay in full control what your assets look like. You can easily change, submit feedback, iterate over and over until you find results. And let's not forget, it's very important to test your ideas out. So again, instead of like investing money into creating expensive assets and then realizing that they don't work for one reason or other, you can generate straight away dozens of variations and then do a proper A/B test to see what works. So you become more data-driven and it's easier to make strategic decisions.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the answer. So next question I would like to raise is the AI and automation. So maybe directing the question to Marius, how like AI-driven automation is improving the operational efficiency?
I think it comes in a few different dimensions. The first one is like, the advertising networks and in general the traffic source providers, they're moving away from like manual tools when you were like, choosing many different dimensions. For example, now most of the Google solutions work that you choose what is the event you want to kind of optimize towards. Like if it's the download, or maybe it's the first deposit, or it's maybe the first purchase, whatever. What is your CPA, or like what is the cost of the customer, of the user you are able to pay, and how budget you have, and what locations you want to choose. And that's all. Yeah. So it's like all the campaigns that used to very often, especially if you were driving the activities for like many countries, it took a lot of manual work. Now it just a few minutes, and then of course from the advertising perspective, you can spend as the someone managing that much more time on thinking, much more like understanding like strategy, and I think that's even there was very interesting research around AI, and the main skills that will matter in the age of AI are skills to collaborate, strategic thinking, understanding of the data. So not like this typical, let's call it hard skills that we know that exactly are getting automated. And again, I was talking about Google, but that goes across all the industry because everywhere is very similar trend to how to actually make those things manual, and that's on the advertising side. But I think there are more and more players that are doing that on the other side. Yeah, Dreams, for example, just recently added like very strong automation to their booking system. Yeah, when they are trying to understand based on the data, based on AI, the people's behavior, and then skip part of the booking to personalize that experience for the specific people. Yeah, even Wendy, which is like typical company selling burgers and like very traditional business, but again, when they were optimizing their drive-through experience, they discovered that there are like a lot of menu options. People, when they order, there is a lot of noise. It's very hard to miss specific orders. So again, they automated quite substantial part of that. So then a lot of stuff you just either pre-select, and then once you have, for example, the loyal user of that brand, a lot of stuff is actually chosen based on you. Yeah, and I think that comes everywhere across marketing, customer experience, and in general, all the business perspective in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And talking about audience segmentation, so maybe addressing the question to Julie. So how can AI be used to enhance like audience segmentation and personalization of the marketing campaigns, and what is the benefit of this?
I think we're actually moving from, well, when we talk about segmentation, I think we're also talking about targeting. And because privacy is becoming more and more like an important topic, we're actually starting to see a move from like the collect of third-party data to actually using first-party data. So the data that, advertisers already own. So, for example, we're seeing Revolut or like Uber or Netflix having their own ad platform. So I think we're going to see more and more of that. And with AI, we'll be able to have more context and understand, what a user is actually reading or looking for, and therefore showing them something that would be interested for them, and therefore increasing engagement.
Mm-hmm. And in this case, we are collecting a lot of marketing insights, and how AI in data analytics works, because let's say TikTok, maybe Arsene, you can answer to this question. So when AI and machine learning are providing like deeper customer insights, can you tell us what does it really bring to your business, and how the other businesses also can use these machine learning models, including the data from marketing insights?
Sure. Actually the data is increasing, so basically it's actually almost impossible to catch up with everything you have, so you have to outsource this audience insights and management, particularly to platforms and to providers. So I would say, first of all, you can rely on platforms and their data in order to feed your creative vision and insights. So please use these and think how you adjust your creative strategy. Second of all, positioning. So as you get much more data, you can also adjust your product accordingly, or positioning of the product. So for example, you can adjust your landing page. You have so many insights with which audience the creative or the product works. Please use this and adjust both creatives and landing pages. And thirdly, I wanted to say about data analytics and audiences is that please use the platforms and, for example, bidding algorithms more extensively. Because they previously, like when at the start of the AI revolution, you could say the algorithms were adjusting quite slowly. So, for example, you needed hundreds of conversions for the campaign to start ramp up and show the results. Now it's much quicker. It's like 20, 30 conversions. There you go, and you have the results. And then you use just the analytics and data to adjust the inputs that you can adjust, which are data, creatives, and positioning. So this kind of strategy things.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe to add a little bit to that, I think there is like a lot of discussion about AI, but still the heart of that AI is actually data. Yeah, so I think that's like whatever like type of the project that I saw that were failing, that was mostly because of the data. Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, the biggest challenge around AI is not really how to create the model, but how to actually have the good and structured data for that model. Yeah, so that's why it's good that you mentioned like first-party data, building your own understanding, what is good, what is bad on your side, because finally, what is even interesting to happen, I read this analysis from this World Economic Forum, and like 10 top jobs that are kind of having the future and they will be growing the fast had the data in like 5 of 10. It's like big data, data analyst, data security analyst. So it's like all that stuff really matters so much. It doesn't matter if we talk about automation, creatives, even like farming. The data is like kind of start at the beginning. And I think that's really important to understand that whatever someone wants to work and start working on that is start to kind of the question, okay, do I have the right data for that? If not, how I can actually start gathering the data?
Yeah, of course, the data need to be complete so that we can have right direction and not get misled. In this case, let's jump into discussing some successful case studies that AI is involved there, plus connecting to the second question, how do you see the future of the AI, so the future trends in AI? Maybe starting from Nikita and coming to Julie.
Sure, thank you. So, just want to emphasize, I'm going to keep to future trends in AI in digital marketing, as again, it's a very complex subject, and there are a lot of people all over the world trying to wrestle with this. So from where I stand, I think we can look overall at what is happening in the industry, but also look at what is happening with digital marketers specifically. Because even when you decide that you're going to increase AI usage in your business, it doesn't have to be through complex modeling, doesn't have to be through systemic data analysis. It can be just through enabling your digital marketing, leveraging AI to get insights from the data. Like, for example, many businesses would hire a special data analytics team that would previously spend a lot of time looking at the data from different angles, trying to get insights. Now, with capable LLMs, you can get those kind of insights within seconds. You can create any type of graph, any type of data representation you want, and then you can also use it to present to your other customers. You can present it to outside audiences. So I think like a lot of efficiency comes from this kind of small tool usage, just learning every day to stop doing the things that you're used to doing in your daily job and just try to automate them again and again. And then if we go into the bigger industry trends, so as already discussed by other panelists, the data just keeps getting bigger, the model keeps getting more capable, and they need less and less data, and also using synthetic data to make better predictions. So I think there is no way to avoid this trend, so we just need to embrace it. One of the biggest challenges is that how we, and I guess here we have to say how we as a society adopt to AI-generated content in our daily feeds. And I think there is no right or wrong answer here. So one thing that we're currently exploring is that AI-generated content needs to be labeled as AI-generated, so we can still differentiate what is basically what is created by humans and what is created through AI. But it seems like with every day, it gets more and more challenging. Recently, I listened to a podcast episode that was 100% AI generated. And if I weren't told, I would never have guessed that that was the case. So I think here it's going to evolve in collaboration with governments, in collaboration with industry bodies. But we'll have to see how this plays out in the end.
Can I just quickly chip in, just to echo what Nikita was saying? From what we see a lot of stuff about automation, data, machines, and I think that the future trend is about how human connections are going to evolve and how important are they going to become. So I think that it gets even more important as we move more towards automation. For example, if we talk about creatives, yes, sure, we can automate a lot of stuff, generate a lot of stuff. But in a sense, we're getting back to the creative essence of marketing. If you can surprise your user, if you can be really creative, it stands out. You can stand out from the crowd, and this way, I think that human connection gets even more important as we move into this world.
So maybe to add that, I think from what I saw, a lot of companies are implementing, for example, AI in customer support and booking system. I was mentioning this eDreams, but for example, Priceline had very interesting case as well. They did it with Google Vertex AI, where exactly they automated quite substantial part of the the most frequent answers and questions and simplify the booking. But again, the AI can be used even with in very small companies. Yeah, for example, one small gaming studio that I invested in as the angel investor. Yeah, they implemented very smart translation system based on AI. Yeah, that's again the team that was 10 people, and actually when they checked, in many cases that system was even more readable and more interesting for the people than just professional translators, because it was based on the real language of the people. Yeah, so I think again we see very interesting cases in farming, for example, when again you just show to the system what is bad potato, what is good potato, and based on that is able to sort the potatoes in the right way. Yeah? So I think now imagination is just starting. Still, from the data perspective, it seems that the AI is used more for ideation and research. I remember I checked very interesting data coming from quite extensive research around AI, done among the people from marketing side, and around 50% of them said that I'm using the AI to do some preliminary research, ideation, drafting, but just 15% of them said, okay, I'm doing, for example, creatives from A to B. Yeah? So again, still, I think a lot of stuff needs to be supervised by people, but again, any business probably can now find a way to implement it for the use case, especially there are more and more very user-friendly platforms. Yeah? Again, Google, for example, has this Vertex AI, and other companies, Amazon, Microsoft, they have different kind of user-friendly AI platforms, so you don't need to be really often AI engineer to use it for your business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. And I wanted to add a little bit from the content generation part. So actually, I think that the trend is stick and will be directed to the part where AI help to analyze and get the marketing insights. For example, a lot of platforms nowadays launch AI library of creatives, and they try to help us when we do the research for our companies, for our clients, to tell us what is performing well, why it is performing well, and all these questions. And one of the recent news I've seen, it was that the Reddit launched it actually AI library with creatives, with all this insight that they gather and analyze. So I think that from the content generation part, the AI trends will also be directed to this analytical part, the data part, and the insight that we can get from that.
I'm going to echo all that. as a performance marketing consultant, I need to be aware of like what's happening, and but also be careful and always have a look and supervise what the AI is doing, especially with the creative. Just because it like shows your brand, your app, so you don't want to show something that could be maybe unethical or like offensive. So that could be performing well, but for the brand might not be the best. So I think it's important to make sure you always have a look on like what the campaign is doing, what user basically are being acquired, and what like creative is being shown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as we are left with 1 minute, so I will just summarize what we have discussed. In general, right now AI helps as much as possible with the current limits, but whatever we see is like just the beginning, just 5–10%, maybe even like 1% that we see that's still coming. I hope considering the data privacy will constantly utilize AI more and more, and every business should utilize it in a way that they can benefit from it. So I think that's it. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.